All right, guys, welcome back. Quick video here. This was also something that was requested. So somebody was asking about dual engine telemetry for the for Futaba. Um, so with the Xicoy, however you want to say it, here in the U.S., everybody says Xicoy, but I think they pronounce it Xicoy. The telemetry adapters that you get, which in my prior video I showed you those. That's what's plugged into the motor, to the hub, and everything. Because this is just a connection point. The ECU is actually on the motor, so this is just an interface with the motor. So the video I'm going to do kind of more leans towards the radio side. There is a setup that you have to do in the telemetry adapter. Supposedly newer motors, it automatically detects, but I don't ever fool with that. I just go ahead and hook up a Y harness with the programming box and a battery to the telemetry adapter. It'll power it up, and then it gets you the options to adjust things in the telemetry adapter. So the first thing that's going to pop up, it'll probably say Jetty or Spectrum, whatever you have. Well, Spectrum is by itself. Spectrum, you need the telemetry adapter just for Spectrum radios, and you need their little cable. If you're a Jetty, Futaba, Powerbox, FrySky, and I think one other Powerbox, I think I said, but all the other radios, you get the one for Jetty, Futaba, and it covers all of them. Multiplex, FrySky, you have to download a script or something. I don't know much about their radio. But for this one, when you power it up, it'll say Jetty. If you're a Jetty guy, great. If not, you want to change it. Like for me, I had to change it to Futaba. And then once you change it to Futaba, it'll ask you for your tank size. You put that in. It'll ask you for a pump PW or pump factor, which is what you want to tweak up and down based off of what it says you have versus what you really have in the tank after you fly. And then the next thing that will come up, it will be basically the telemetry slot that you want to attach it to your radio. So what I did, and I'll kind of switch over to the radio here, and I'm going to, and you can kind of see it there. This is the home screen. I'm going to go to a different one so I don't mess up anything. So let's go. Well, I'll just bring up my F22. Select, bam. All right, I had it on the A7. All right, I'm gonna copy this one just to copy it to my radio, just so I don't screw something up. Okay, it's done. Did it copy? There you go. All right, cool. Doesn't look like my clock's right. So, anyways, so this is let me see if I can set this a little bit better. It's kind of hard to do this with my one hand and my phone. I'm using my phone for this one while my camera charges. All right, so Futaba here. Hopefully you guys can see this. So the first thing you got to do, so after you set your telemetry adapters up, so what I did is, and you can select based off what you have. You go to linkage, page over, and then you got your telemetry stuff. You got telemetry, sensor name. So go to sensor. And this tells you, these two pages are all your slots. So you have 31 slots available. So when you select, and what I did was I did my first one. Oh, sorry. So slot 1, you select it, it'll give you these options. The Xicoy telemetry adapter uses the JetCat V10. So you select that. And what it does, close, it generates, it takes up all these slots. It takes up 14 slots because there's 14 things of data you can get. RPMs, each data point that you want is a slot, essentially. So you got temperature, you got RPM, you got pump PW, you got fuel used, and all that stuff. So that's why when you select JetCat V10 on slot 1, it will automatically block out these 14. So your next available slot is 15. So I went in there, hit it again, selected JetCat, V10, close, and you can see 15 through 28 are now all JetCat V10. So that's my second telemetry adapter. And that's all you do. This one over here, this temperature on slot 31 is for the Xicoy telemetry on the fail-safe pressure gear fail-safe gear door sequencer. It also gives you telemetry based off how much you have in it. So that's what 31 is. But these other ones I'm not using. So essentially, if I wanted an airspeed, I could come in here, hit inhibit, and then I could, like if I wanted true airspeed and you had some kind of telemetry module that gave you airspeed, you select that, and then that's how you get it for that. But I'm going to close this. So essentially, so I've got slot 1 is what I selected for one telemetry adapter, and I made that telemetry adapter that I'm using slot 1. The second telemetry adapter that's for the second turbine, I made it 15 in the telemetry adapter. So when I select this, now that is where my second telemetry adapter is assigned. So that's all you have to do. You just select it, bam, that pops up. And then you can go to telemetry, and this is just your telemetry expanded. You know, so all these will populate as needed when it's powered up and when it's running. So what you do at this point, if you want to go and add it to your home screen, which is what I do, here's my timers. So I've got this 32 here. That's my actual, I know it's a temperature, but that's actually pressure for my air system. So you've got JetCat 1. See how it says 1? That's RPM for the first turbine. JetCat 15. That's the RPM for the second motor. So if you want to change these, what you see here, you select it, and then you go select. Now here's your 3 options that you can have on that home screen. So the first one, like I showed you, is the pressure. And then the second one, you select slot and up and down until you get what slot you want. See, I wanted 1. So you can go up and down. See, it'll jump though. If you go from slot, it'll go to slot 2. See, it jumps to 15 because 1 through 4 are taken, or 1 through 14 are taken. So the only way to get different data points in that first slot is to come over here to RPM. And these are the 1 through 14 that you're going to get. So these are the various telemetry data things that you can get off of that one telemetry adapter, because it had 14, right? So current, speed, RPM, and it just starts back over. So those are the 14 different data things that you can get. And then 15, I selected the 15, which is the second motor, and I have RPM there. Now you can always obviously select something different if you wanted, like pump PW or temperature, like pump, you know, that kind of thing. And then you can go in and set alarms based on these. So let me close this here. You know, so here's your alarm. So like you can have it, well, when the RPMs go below a certain RPM, it gives you an audible warning. Or a pump. You set a pump and it's like, hey, if the voltage goes to 0, then that's obviously a flame out, and you'll get all your alarms. So that is the telemetry for Futaba. And when you're connected, you'll see like little bars like on a cell phone reception. You do have to have telemetry link, telemetry active for your receiver. I actually have 2 receivers, but I only have 1 added right now. So remember, only your primary receiver is going to give you telemetry. So if it failed and it switched to your secondary, you would lose telemetry. And if you wanted to see all kinds of crazy telemetry when your engines are running, you bring up the telemetry page. Now here are those 14 different things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that? 9. Page 2. And then it goes all the way, and so everything under slot 1, and then it starts slot 15, which is your second motor. Here's all the same motor data. This is all the data that telemetry data will give you, or telemetry adapter will give you about the motor. And then there's that 31, which is my temperature. So if you had all your slots used, they would obviously be more stuff here. So hopefully that helps somebody. Like I said, only thing you really have to do in Futaba is whatever telemetry sensor you're using, you know, if it has the option to select a slot in the telemetry item, you just have to, whatever that slot is, you just have to select that in the radio, and it should work together. So, yep. And let's see, you can change, you know, select different things, and I could actually take this temperature now that I know that it's in, say, PSI, but it will still read with an F on it, like Fahrenheit. So you're just changing the actual name. And like I said, this is your normal screen. If you want to get to the more expanded, which gives you your telemetry stuff, you just hit that home. There you go. And then this is where you select, like I said, you've got slot 1 and 15. Those are your 2. And then whatever item you wanted to show on that screen is what you select over here. If it has an option, it'll give you that. Because this one only had the 1. You know, you select temperature, it's got 1 thing. Because you selected slot, you select the JetCat V10, it has 14 items. So you can select 14 different things here. Same thing. So, all right. Hopefully that helps somebody. If you have questions, ask away. I'll try to clarify if need be. But that's telemetry. So I'm gonna get back to some building on this. I got the tanks glued in. The supports or the attachment points for the 2 tanks. So now I just need to finish it up, get all the wiring hooked up and everything ready to go. So get this done and do a little bit before the tornadoes roll in tonight. Have a good evening. Stay safe out there.